And now, the moment you have both been waiting for. Tonight's main event, fighting his way out of the corner, weighing 10 stone soaking wet. The mug what matches the moniker, the fizz what fits the flannel, Ghazza. Hey up! Ha ha! Hello, welcome, fellow greenskins. Got a great show lined up for you tonight, but before we go any further, something that's got to be cleared up. There seems to be an affliction amongst some Orky players. I don't even think that most of them know they've even got it, but we're going to get this cleared up now. It's war! Not war. Babies say war. Orks say war! Alright. Glad we've got that sorted out. Right, we'll move on. Tonight's show, going to have a look at the difference between the metal and resin miniatures by GW that use the same sculpts but different materials. We're going to look at the difference between them. That's probably they're going to be the only Orky bit on the show, really, because it features the old Ghazza. We'll have a look at that. But first I want to give some shout outs to some people. In particular, Nick, Idic via War Games Unification Group. What a legend that guy is. He set up the most fantastic Facebook group, and then those greenskins came and sort of moved in next door, the noisy neighbours as it were. But two fantastic groups there, and you can't go wrong. None of them guys, you know what I mean? Those guys. So make sure you look at that. Nick is a legend. Two guys that inspired me to do this myself. Two legends themselves. The two ball knobs, Scarnier and 6 Plus Stevo. They inspired me to stick with the hobby in the first place and keep going and not jack it in again. And then I was watching the stuff that they did and I thought, I want to do that. I want to show these people what I do. And I've had such a good response in the Facebook group just lately over a couple of pictures I put up of me truck, my fire truck. Such a great response. Thank you to everyone who liked it, loved it, emojied it, whatever, you know. That technology, it's all new to me. Press buttons, you can't see how it's happening. Anyway, big shout to you people. Thank you if you're watching. Thank you if you subscribed already, because that's a great help. What we're going to do after we've had a look at the difference between the metal miniature and the fire fail cast one, we're going to just have a go over what you're likely to be seeing in future episodes, and indeed this one, some of it. We're going to have different features. We're going to have like a hobby bit, which I'm going to call Gar in the Zone. When I get used to it and I can do all shit, I'm going to put letters over here like that. You know what I mean? Graphics and that. I'm only just bloody managed to do this. What's up with you? We'll be doing unboxings and reviews. There'll be some of that tonight. And I'm going to call that What Has Arrived at Gar's House. Which spells why. See what I mean? Most of them have got acronyms. Don't know what an acronym is? You will do by this is over. By the time this is over, excuse me. Right, we'll have some showcase features, which I've called, what have I called it? I forgot what I've called it. Oh yeah, there it is. Zinski's Outrageous Ork Machines. So in future episodes, we'll be having a look at that war truck, fire truck thing. I can't remember what I was calling it. It's been one thing and now it's another. The fire truck. So we'll be having a look at that in that feature. Zinski's Outrageous Orky Machines. We'll be doing a painting section, but much later on in the series. And I've called that Gar Rolls Over to Spray Booth. You'll see later when we get it all sorted out, like I said. I'm going to have a tips and hints section, hobby stuff, workshop and studio equipment, help and aids, things that you can make to save space and that for you. And I'm going to call that bit, forgotten again. Oh, there it is. Gar is mega practical. You getting it? Right. No, that's yeah, that's workshop aids and studio stuff. And top tips and things we're going to call, blimey, it's Gar's top incredible tips. I'm sure you're working it out by now. Paints, glues, the paint mediums, flow aid, all that will be in a section called products I shake and stir. And we might have a bit of storytelling called Zinski is telling stories. So let's get on to the first bit, which is the GW metal versus fail cast. And we're going to go and have a look at the second newest Ghazza now, the new one having come out. I'll tell you a bit about that in a minute. Right, we're going to go over there now. Okay, we go. First up, metal Ghazza. I just wanted to have a look at this. I'll see if I can get it to focus. Right, where are we? Here we are, look up here. Right, if you can just see it front of that, I think that's a pretty good view actually. See them three lovely fangs hanging on that bit of string or rope, whatever it is. And you can quite clearly see defined behind it the skull motif and a couple of bullet holes. So that's the metal torso. Let's have a look at this one. Now if you look at this one, I was well disappointed with this. Look at them teeth there. Great big snot of resin right in the middle of detail. I'm quite a skilled modeller and I'm struggling to clean that up and make it look anything decent. In fact, I'm thinking I might just file it all off and make a front plate myself. But that to me, front of the model, disgusting. Sorry Games Workshop, but that is not good enough. The other piece that disappointed me, claw. I know they're fairly easy to warm up and shape. Come on, focus up, focus up. There we go. But there's two bends in that. It's all over the place. The detail on the fine cast, I hate calling it that, is a good bit crisper in places than on the metal one. But just let's have a look at the legs. You see this leg, metal legs, Ghazza's metal legs. See, there's a definite gap there between the toe cap of his boot and that leg plate there. There's a gap, and looking from the front, getting it square on, you've got about 2.5 to 3 mil gap between the bottom of that knee pad and the top of his toe cap. But on the resin one, look at it sideways on, let's get it, there we go. The gap in there is completely closed up. The gap square on at the front, you can even see by the resin snot that's in there, that's actually crushed down, that this has actually squeezed up like that after casting. The other thing is, all this to clean up. Start again. Come on, focus. There you go. All this is all to clean off under here in the hardest place on the model to get at. Another fail for me. What else we got? This, the detail on this is crisp out. all that's clean out of there. I know it's necessary, and I don't mind that. On the back of the fine cast one, I don't mind that because it's in an easy place to clean up. But what's the point of letting it go onto the detail of the finer wires inside that cable? Why not just stop it there, where it's easy to clean off? They put them down in there, in gaps like that, where it's hard to get off. I don't know why they do it. Anyway, this is the only fine cast model I've got. And it'll be undergoing extensive conversion anyway. The other thing I wasn't happy with, oh yeah, these were already loose in the box, broken off the sprues, and as you can see, both points are a bit shagged. So, not good GW. I won't be buying any more fine cast. Hate calling it that. So that's that then. So now, I'll have a look at the head first, being as it's Ghazza. I think if anything, oh, there we go. If anything, I think the detail's crisper on the fine cast one, but nevertheless, I've painted one of these before and the detail is well easy to pick out. There was minimal cleaning up on it. That's just about as good. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you was this. This is the torso again. If you look right in here, you see all that blue stuff? Some of that's releasing agent, but some of it's, when you get in with a pin and pull it out, it's part of the silicon mould. Which means the next thing that's cast in the same mould as this one has lost all them little bits of detail because this one's dragged them out. Pretty lucky this one's a fairly early cast, I think, because you don't get as much of that on later casts. But, and the other thing was with this, those won't allow you to put the iron gob in between. You need to warm them up and bend them out very gently, and they're dead easy to snap off. So, I quite honestly can't see GW selling any more of these now the new Ghazza's out. And they're not in metal anymore. Why can't they do this in plastic? It's still a great kit. I don't understand GW sometimes. Anyway, on to the next bit, the main event, rivets. My love-hate, or my hate-love relationship coming right up. Okay, the main part, rivets. This bone breaker tank here of mine has been totally riveted, apart from the new bits, which are going to get the new rivets. All the old rivets you can see on here were done the old school method. They were done with stuff like this. These are a bit big. They're actually bigger than the ones used on the tank, but they get the idea. These are all I've got left. I used all the little ones. Never used these because they're a bit too big. But basically, snip them off to length, drill a hole in the tank, drop a super glue, poke them in, give them a quick rub over with some sandpaper to scuff them up for paint. It takes ages. Takes ages. So, then, all the rivets on this, by the way, are using that method, apart from the new ones. So, I saw this tutorial. I think it was even by a guy called Little Green Rivets. Anyway, he showed you how to make them out of green stuff. Green stuff, not my cuppa. But I'd never used it before this time. So I went and got some, and I manufactured 2 small tools. How we told you to do them. This is a 1.5mm piece of, sorry, that's a 2.5mm piece of brass rod with a 2mm dimple drilled in end of it. And that's a 1.5mm brass rod with a 1mm dimple drilled in the end of it. glued into the end of a couple of our paintbrushes that I chopped up. So they're the tools. You have to keep them wet apparently. I ain't got any green stuff because thanks to GW, I bought some last year, got it out today, fucking rock hard. So anyway, I've got a bit of odd blue tack here, which will show you the same thing. Basically what you did, you made your green stuff, or your grey stuff in this case, worked out where you wanted it, got your tool, give it a lick, press it on, work that bit off, there you go, rivet. Get your bit of blue tack again, or your bit of green stuff again, put it where you want to put it, press it on, rivet. Now you see that one's pulled. I didn't lick the end of it. So even blue tack, it stuck to that and pulled. I used to do it quite often when I was doing the blue tack ones. I used to end up pulling them off because I forgot to lick the end of the thing. They look good. They take ages. And if you forget which ones are the newest ones, you end up putting your finger or your thumb in them and squashing them and having to do them again. And like I say, green stuff's not my cuppa. So that's a better, but just as hateful method of having to do them. So at this point, I still hate rivets. Right, nuts and bolts as well were an impossibility. But nuts and bolts wise, I did find a company online called, I'll get you some of these, Prime Miniatures. Prime Miniatures. These are scale to scale. 0.08. That's 1/8 of a mil across the hexagon head. Right, they're 10 mil long. And you've got nuts to fit and washers to fit. They're quite dear, but they do look good when you use them. And that's my solution for nuts, bolts, washers and that. They are really good stuff. Prime Miniatures, if that's your thing, if you want a bit of strength to the joints you're putting on your model, really good, but a little bit dear. And don't get mixed up like I did with the sizes. The M1.0 by 8, sorry, yeah, that's 1.0 size of the hexagon head across the flats by 8 is 8 mil the length. Don't be thinking that M1 mil is the diameter of the thread. Mistake I made. It's not, it's the diameter of that. So the ones I got were actually smaller than what I wanted, but I'll still use them for something. They also do really nice little, hope you can still hear me, these little shackles which look great on brackets on front of tanks and stuff like that, even if they're not connected to anything. They look great just hanging there. I particularly like putting brackets on tanks with an all-in end where there was a bolt but nothing on them. I think they look great, especially on looted stuff and that. So that was my solution for nuts and bolts, but I still wasn't happy with me studs, my rivets for putting on models. I still hated having to do rivets. So I had a look what other people were doing, and most other people seem to be using styrene rod, cutting a little slice off, gluing it on. I've seen some people doing it, I've tried to do it myself. You're lucky if 9 out of 10 of them don't go flying off across the room while you're cutting them off. You'll be very, very skillful or very, very lucky to cut them off square so that they sit right when you put them on. You'll be very lucky at that thickness to get them all the same height when they're glued onto the panel or whatever you're putting them on. I saw Dread's video about it not so long ago. He likes all these the same, does Dread. and I'm sure he's going to love what's coming up, because I've tried that method and I hate that one too. You can use hex as well for nuts and bolts, but if you can afford to fork out for these things, they make life so much easier, and I think Dread's going to be jealous. Let's have a look. First one. Here we go. I don't think I've forgotten anything up to there. No, we're going to look at these. These are RP TOOLZ punch and die kits. This is small circles. Ranges from 1/2 mil right up to 2 mil in 0.1 of a mil increments. So with that one you've got 16 different sizes of circles that you can punch out with the punches supplied. These things here, I don't know if you can see them, they're very thin ones. These represent each hole in there. They do recommend that you don't punch these through material bigger than the diameter of the punch itself. Now, I don't think you need to do that anyway, especially in plastic card. I think they were talking about thin metal sheeting. I find it works perfectly well in card the same thickness as the diameter, as long as you're like 1 mil or bigger. But you really need to be doing about half the thickness of the diameter or thereabouts, I think. And with the rivets, all the sizes, I use the 0.25 card. Seems to work the best, and with some of the sizes on the rivets one, you can push them straight through without even using a hammer. Talking of hammers, each kit comes with one of these. Throw it away. RP TOOLZ, waste of time, waste of your time making them, waste of our money buying them. They're useless. They're too small. They damage the head of the punches. They're hard to hold. They're hard to grip. In fact, I did this one. I glued 2 biro grips onto it to make it a bit easier to use. The first one I used, which was a hexagon one, not this one, but I ended up putting loads of marks in the top of the punch here with this. So I'm a joiner by trade. I'm used to using hammers, and these not big enough for the job, not heavy enough to make it hard work. With a normal hammer, like everybody's got at home, and a little bit of finesse, you don't need these. RP TOOLZ, no more hammers. That is my only criticism. These are fantastic. What you've got is 2 screws, 2 nut things that go onto threaded things that hold these 3 pieces together. You've got a Perspex guide plate, that guides the punch. The die plate itself, which actually cuts the material as the punch is going through. And the back plate, where the holes are slightly bigger, so that when you've punched it, it falls out the bottom. The nuts are spring loaded. You don't need to clamp them up tight, these. In fact, I found them better if you leave them a little bit slack, so you can just slide your material about in them, but it just keeps them gently nipped. That's spring loaded. Once you get your material in, use that bit there. You can see I've done some earlier. Which one was that? 1.7. This is 0.25 card. 1.7. I will just gently press that down there. I've used these quite a bit. Nip that up. Nip that up. You don't even need to take them nuts off. Now that's a little bit tight. Ease it off a bit. Quarter of a turn. 1.7. 1.7. Oh, I don't think I've used that one before. Stick it in there. And don't use that. Go and get your dad's hammer or the hammer that you've got in your toolbox I've got 4, can't find one. Ah, there it is. Put that in there like that. It's a bit of an awkward angle with the camera and everything. I'll put that up there. Make sure you got the right punch in the right hole. Let the weight of the hammer do the job. In this material, you don't even need to hardly tap it. And in fact, any smaller than that, you can just push them through. Now, I haven't used that thing that I've got, but you get nice, perfectly round, all the same thickness rivets. But if you get one of these, I think you should have one of these anyway. This is a holder for it, which catches all your rivets. So if you want to do a load at once, it catches them all in there and tip them into a container. That goes in there like that. I'll put it the other way around so I can see it. That goes in there like that. You'll only need one of them, no matter how many of these you get, as long as you don't really require the small hexagonal set. The large hexagonal set goes down to 1.5mm hexagonal, which I think is small enough for our usage. If you want to go smaller than that, if you're doing model railways or something like that, or traction engines, and you want to go below 0.5, you will need a different one of these, because the small hexagon set is a different shape to the other 4. The ones we've got, I'll just put that away. You get that and a corresponding set of punches. They're between £75 and £90 a set. These are about a tenner, but you'll only need one if you only get the same ones I've got. I've got the large hexagonal one, which is great for nuts, bolts, larger circles, great for washers, studs. And I've lost the other one. Oh, there it is. Rivets. That's the rivets one. What we've got 10 sizes in that. The difference between that one is, got mixed up with the boxes there. You might be able to see on these if I get a big enough one out. You might just be able to see. It's got a pointed tip, which stresses the material before it puts it through, and it comes out a little dome shape like that. So there you go. If you can afford these, they will save you time in the end, which can always relate to money. And I just think they're amazing. I now love rivets and fixings on my model. So, put these all out the way. In conclusion, I'll just show you this. When you've made a few, you might be wondering how long it takes you to do these things. When you've made a few, you end up with shit like this. I don't know, I've got them in my hand. Right, you end up with shit like this. So I wasn't taking very much care, I was just whacking some out, seeing how long it took. Right, all these, I mean, look at that. You could use that as a truck windscreen, or a vision panel or something, you know, that's in 0.25. All those, and them, in the 0.25 material, I just pushed them through with my hand, didn't need the hammer. These are in 1.5mm ABS plastic art. They'll take a bit of knocking through, but these make great nuts and bolts. And in fact, these ones, what I did was I put some circles first, some little round circles, them two were there, too close together so I couldn't finish them off. And then tried to line it up. I'll show you in a minute. I tried to centre them up. It's a bit hard with the Perspex top plate. And then cut the hexagon around the circle so that you ended up with a loose nut. I've got them all out except that one. No, must have got them out. There we go. No, that's the washers. Oh, I'll show you these. Same with the washers. You see them? Punch a load of small holes in the card, save the rivets. Then go through with a larger circle. Line the small hole up into the middle of the punch. Punch through with a bigger circle. Washers. I did these really quick. I didn't take the time to really line them up properly. It's harder with the hexagon ones. But these are the possibilities you've got. If you want to stack these up, instead of just stacking them up flat, you want to slide them over a rod, like an axle or something like that, and then stack them up, washer, nut. They're really good. So, in conclusion, RP Tools, guys, absolutely marvellous. I'm made up with these tools. They've saved me, loads of work. And they have now made me love riveting on my models. So, because I don't like these, stop doing these. Waste of your time making them, waste of our money buying them, get rid, right? Gone. Everyone's got a hammer. Because I don't like the hammer, but because I like everything else, 9.5 out of 10. And can we have some square ones, please? Okay, that's that one done. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers, guys. Right. Love them rivet and punch sets. Love them. Love them. Happy Tools. 9 out of 10. Right, this brings us nicely to another feature of the show. We're going to have a Top Gear cool wall type scenario. In fact, we're going to have two walls. First off, we're going to have Wall of Gawk, which stands for Great Online Retail Companies. And on this wall, I'm going to have it behind me here when I've sorted all this crap out behind me. This wall here is going to be Wall of Gawk, Wall of Mark. I'm going to film myself in front of it so you'll be able to see all the companies on it. Wall of Gawk, great online retail companies. They're all the companies that keep us hobbyists supplied with all the things we needed, even though they've never heard of an orc. And the Wall of Mark will be all the mega orc related companies, like your Spellcrows and Puppets War and Cromlech, Bits of War. People like that. People who supply specifically orc related stuff, even if they supply other stuff as well, but if they have specific orc stuff, they'll go on the Wall of Mark. So, RP Tools this week. First one, Wall of Gawk. Great online retail companies. They're going up there. Yeah, up there somewhere. When I get it sorted. We'll have graphics and all that as well, you know, when I've got my head around fucking stuff. Anyway, so that's one of the other features we're going to have. Wall of Gawk, Wall of Mark, RP Tools. First on the Wall of Gawk. Right, on the Wall of Mark tonight. I haven't even opened this yet. An extra special what has arrived at Ghazza's house. Because I've got something over here. I know what it is, but I've not unwrapped it yet. And it be the first company that goes on the Wall of Mark. So let's have a look. Here it is. Now I know what this is, because it was the only thing I was expecting when it came. Right. I'm going to just unwrap it and show you what it is. I know what it is already. It's been sat on my table all week, so I could do this. Right, let's have a look what we got. Oh, chuck that down there. Oh, that's it. Two separate ones of these. They're both same. So I'll just show you this one. Ooh, I'm interested to see what these will look like. These are from Puppets War. And they're these, can you see that? Massive death rollers. Death rollers. I got two, because my Battle Fortress is massive. Let's have a look here. Won't let me change views onto the table mid-record, so I'm going to show you here. 3 pieces. The roller itself, you see that? Looks like it made out of bits out of a giant gearbox. With some well orky stud stuff on end shot there. Let's just dim that light a bit, that's better. That's the end of it. You get a boom. I won't be using that bit, but it'll make a nice canopy rail or an handrail for a battle wagon. And that's just the bit that you stick on the front or whatever. And that sticks to that. Won't be using that bit. 2 of them. Actually, now I've got them, they look a bit small for the job, but they'll come in for summer. So, Puppets War. First company up on the wall of Mark. Mega Ork related companies. First one's on there. Puppets War. Send me a sticker, I'll put it up. If you can't send me a sticker, when I get a printer, I'll get your logo up, print it off, and we'll put it up there. So that's Wall of Gawk and Wall of Mark. Let me just put that light back up there a bit again. Right, and I think that just about covers the show. I think we've covered everything. Let me just have a quick look at this. Yeah, I think we covered there this week. So, thanks for dropping in and being interested in my passionate affair with rivets. Next week, I think because of the interest shown, we're going to have a look at the fire truck. How I made it have working steering. I'll give you the story, I'll show you what I did with it, and then in future episodes we might just crack on with it a bit, get it done. I'm relying on you, my Warzinski, to give me a kick up the arse and say, come on, get on with this, we want to see this. So, thanks for everyone. Just before I go, I nearly forgot, and I have mentioned him once, but I was thinking, he answered out, yeah. Remember earlier I showed you the difference between metal and resin gas. Well, he actually wanted it shot, but it was supposed to be, and I realised after it wasn't. But this, you were supposed to notice this little cardboard box it's shot, but it wasn't. But it's here. Now you might be wondering what this is. This is an empty cardboard box. But this metal gas, what I showed you earlier, is getting wrapped up, put in that box, sealed up, and that box is going in this other box, what I've got down here. This one here And this is all going off to Emerald Isle for you, Dread. Enjoy it, mate. Yorkshire tea and a metal gas, because I know you ain't got one. Yeah, I just finish off by saying Dread's been such an inspiration to me. He's given me so much encouragement. He's on top of the 2-ball knobs, and Nick Beer, one of the 4 people that have kept me in this hobby and encouraged me and give me the confidence to come and do this. So if you've enjoyed it, like if you like. If you didn't like, don't bother. Won't bother me. And I hope I'll see you all next time. Good night.